So let's start with our intention. Let's just breathe in all the way into our diaphragm and breathe out. One more time, breathe all the way in and breathe out. Tell your mind and your body that it is time to relax. And just intend for clarity to come through, for all the questions in the room to be answered, for us to hear those answers, for us to know exactly what we need to do as we leave this meeting tonight. We want to leave feeling confident. We want to leave feeling energized. We want to leave this place feeling happy and knowing that all is well. Breathe all of that in. Let it go and let it be done. Awesome. And now let's create a safe space for ourselves and for everyone who is participating with us here tonight. And what a safe space is a place where we feel comfortable voicing our innermost thoughts. A safe space is a place where we feel comfortable because we are all the same. A safe space is a place where we don't feel judged, where we feel that we are loved, that we feel that we are supported, we feel that we will receive the answers that we need. We feel that we are surrounded by unlimited, unconditional love. And so if we agree that there will be no judgment in this room, can we please raise our hands or put a 1 in the chat? Thank you. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Sue, Samuel, Kathy. All right. And let's agree to the fact that in this room there will be no repercussion of anything that is said here today. No repercussions. We will only remember the good. We will only remember that with which we can support each other. And so if we agree that there is going to be no repercussion in this room, please raise your hands. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. And lastly, let us agree to surround all of us, each of us, with unconditional, unlimited love. Do we agree? Awesome. And so now let us declare this a safe space. So if you could just say to yourself, I am in a safe space. And you can unmute yourself or you can say it out aloud, but please say it out aloud. Or put it in the chat if you can't say it out aloud. I am in a safe space.
In a safe space.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's let everyone else in the room with us also know that this is a safe space. So you are in a safe space.
You are in a safe space.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Thank you, Samuel, for putting it in the chat. All right. So let's begin. This is a safe space. All questions are welcome. I have one question that I received by email. Let me go and open that up. And in the meantime, who wants to get us started here in the Zoom room? Janet, did you have a question for us? You're muted. Ah, there.
Yes, I do. Mine is probably not one of the most intelligent.
Oh, come
questions.
on. No such thing. No such thing. All questions are important. All questions are super important. Go ahead.
I just feel I'm fragmented, that I've given myself away in many directions, financially, emotionally, worry-wise, even with my little dog, who takes a lot of time and kind of bosses me. And I don't know how to get everything back together in one place. I'm just floundering. I try to listen to the morning things. I have a little trouble with my Facebook when I've got my phone, and I try to do the replays. 2 days ago, I really especially loved your talk, and it gives me hope. But I know I have to do more work. So I guess I just trying to think where to start. I guess attending tonight was like a first step.
I love that you're here. And transformation is not easy, but it is so worth it. And what you're saying and what I can feel from you is that you're in the process of creating boundaries that you did not have before. You are so used to giving from the saucer, and you've trained people. You've trained people to lean on you, and so they lean on you. And then saying no feels like you're taking back something that you had given. And it feels hard, and it feels bad. It feels like, oh, I've always done this, and now for me not to do it, what will they think? And that's where the problem is. When you say, what will they think? I've always done this, and if I say no now, what will they think? And therein lies the problem. You see, Janet, there is nothing that you cannot say no to. Just like there is nothing you cannot say yes to. Saying yes and saying no are the same. One is not harder than the other. One is not easier than the other. Except that we make it so. We make it hard and we make it easy. And let me open my drawing board and draw this for you, because I think it will be more clarifying for you to see the drawing. The only time you will ever be misunderstood is if you have a vibration when you say no, if you have a vibration that is low on the emotional scale. That is the only time people will misunderstand what you really mean. That is the only, trust me, that is the only time people will misunderstand what you mean. And the reason is people misunderstand what you mean because they don't understand your vibration. Because if your vibration is coming from, so I'm just going to start drawing now. Hang on, I'm sharing my screen. There we go. So let's draw the emotional scale here. Okay. So if this is the emotional scale, this is your emotional scale, Janet. And here is this other emotional scale of the other person that you want to say no to. Okay, so they come and they ask you for something, and you are so used to always saying yes to them. So every time they come, you say yes to them, they ask you a question, you say yes to them, they feel happy, and they're right up here feeling happy. But what happens to you is that you go down the emotional scale after you say yes to them. And the reason you go down the emotional scale is because you just don't have the physical resources, the monetary resources. You just don't have the resources. So even though you think you've done a good thing, but you've gone down the emotional scale, And because you've gone down the emotional scale, now your vibration that you're sending this person is going from this place low on the emotional scale. So they no longer feel cared for. Even though you're doing the thing that you're doing, you are giving so much to them, but don't we say this? Oh, what a thankless thing I did. They didn't even bother to say thank you. They don't even appreciate what it takes for me to do what I just did for them. Have you ever said that? Right? Why do you think that they are not appreciative of what you're doing for them? Why do you think that is? You're doing so much and they're not appreciative. Why do you think that is? It's exactly because you're low on the emotional scale. That is why they are not appreciative of what you've done for them. So, you see, this is why there's no point in making a sacrifice, because when you make a sacrifice, you go low on the emotional scale. And then you wonder why this person is not thankful. But even though you know that, it is still hard for you to say no to them. So they come along the next time and they ask you for the same thing. And you say to yourself, well, I said yes the last time, I should say yes again. But you're not giving from your saucer, you're giving from your cup. So again, you go down the emotional scale again. And again, you're giving from a place low on the emotional scale, which makes the other person feel like they don't feel loved, because the vibration of love is up here. And they're not getting the vibration of love from you. They're getting the vibration of, oh, you asked me for a lot. That's not a good vibration. That's not a vibration that says, I love you. So the thing is, if you ask, so here's the thing. The reason you give in and you give to them is because you think that you are the only one who can help them solve the problem, and they are all alone in this big bad world. But they are not alone in the big bad world, my dear, because they have source. You see, help comes to them through people, not from them. It's always coming from the universe, through a person. You think you are the helper. You're not the real helper. You're just the conduit that the universe is using in order to help the other person. So you have to trust that if you say no, then this person, there are 10 other people that the universe will bring to them to help them solve whatever problem they have. It's not for you to solve. So now you can say no, and you can say no from a place of love. No, I cannot do, I love you very much, but this is not the right time for me. I'm so sorry. I wish I could, but I really cannot.
Thank you, Sarah. I get it.
Okay? So then you say no, but you say the no from a place of love and kindness. And you say to them, I'm sure you'll find someone else to help you. I just don't have the resources. And you don't have to tell them, oh, I don't have the money, I don't have the energy. You don't have to tell them. Just use one word, and that one word is resources. I just don't have the resources just now to help you. I would love to help you. I always have. But this is not the right time for me. I am so sorry. But I want you to know I love you, and I know that you are a powerful being, and I know that you are strong and you are capable, and I know that whatever is going on for you, you can figure yourself out. You can figure a way out of this. You can handle this. And there are plenty of people who I know you are a very loved person, and there are plenty of people you can fall back on. Not me this time. And that's it. Okay? So you always have to say no with love. What happens is the thing that goes wrong, and when you say no with love, the other person does not take it the wrong way because they are feeling the vibration of love. You can call a person whatever you want to call them, but say it with love. So what happens is, here's the thing that happens. This person is not going to feel bad because of your no, but what happens is most of the time when people say no, they say no from a place of revenge or anger. How dare you not know that you're asking me for too much? So they say no from this place of anger or revenge. Now, when you say no, it's the same word. You're saying the same word. It's a big fat no. But when you say no from a place of anger or revenge meaning you should know better. How dare you? I've done so much for you and you still want more from me? My mother used to say, what are you going to do? Drink my blood? Literally, that is what she used to say. Now that no is not coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of anger or revenge or blame. It's coming from a place low on the emotional scale. So this person, do you think they're feeling loved? No, they're not. So now they don't like it when you say no because your no came from this place. Nobody will fault you for saying no if you say no from a place of love. And that, my dear, is the key.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. So, what are you going to do differently, Janet?
I'm going to get ready at night so that I don't waste a lot of time in the morning. I can get my dog out, be in time to watch the program on the computer. And I am doing my free paving. I'm also not going to volunteer so much. Sometimes it's not even people asking, it's me jumping in. And it's like I feel it's my job, or in the past I felt it was my job to come in and give them money if I hear a sad story or do something for them. And I realized today I've got to really start taking myself. I'm supposed to be exercising. I don't even get over to the gym because my little dog wants a real nice long walk early in the morning. And I love her and I'm willing to take good care of her. But I have to realize I'm important too and just kind of arrange things in my life to make it flow better, flow with ease.
Absolutely. I love that you're thinking that way. But going for a long walk with faith is good for your health.
Yes.
Right? So you don't have to think that that is taking you away from looking after yourself. No, it's not. It's not taking you away from looking after yourself. Right?
That's true. It's good for both of us.
It's good for both of you. You're out in the fresh air. You are getting exercise through walking. So, so you can now. Faith will do whatever you want her to do. If you refuse, there's not a thing she can do about it. Okay?
Yeah.
So what else are you going? So the thing about I want to talk to you about a couple of things that you just said. So as far as listening to the morning call is concerned, you don't have to be there live to listen to the morning call. All the morning calls are stored inside the group. And you can always go to the group and be able to watch the calls at a later time that works for you. So you don't have to watch them live. You just have to get to them at some point in time in your day. That's it. That's just any time during the day. You can listen to the call when you're brushing your teeth. Yesterday's call you can listen to today while brushing your teeth. Tomorrow's call you can listen to a day after. It doesn't matter, because the calls are not specific to the day. You can hear the material at any point in time and you'll have the same effect. So do you know where to find the calls, Janet?
Yes, I actually found it by accident.
Okay.
When I have it on my phone.
Okay, so
I do.
So all you have to do is go to this tab, the Guides tab. See this tab right here? Guides. When you go into the Guides tab, all the calls are stored in the Guides.
Okay.
Okay.
I will. I think later I'll listen to some of them again.
Yeah. So see, this is Guide 1. And then as you go down, guides are like chapters. Okay. So these are all the all the calls are saved. Okay.
Oh, perfect.
All the calls are saved. Here is day 1, day 2. Okay, day 3. All 365 days are saved here by the day. Okay, so it's not about you just have to get into the group and watch a call. You don't have to be there for the call. That is not the expectation.
Hey, that makes it really convenient.
Yes. So the reason the call is in the morning is because I like to do it in the morning, but I could just as easily do it in the evening. The timing of the call suits my convenience. That's all, right? And I don't change the time, because changing the time would be confusing for myself as well as other people. Just having one consistent time works best. But if nobody showed up, I would still do the call at the same time. Okay?
Got it.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sarah. I'm going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. So now about volunteering and feeling bad about other people, that is the other thing that I want to clarify for you, because you said you feel bad for people. You hear a sob story and you feel bad for people and then you want to help them. But I want to ask you a question. Are you really helping this person? So if somebody's telling you a sob story, where are they on the emotional scale, Janet?
Well, the people I met yesterday, they have genuine things.
Everyone has genuine things. No. Sorry. Hang on. There is not a single person who does not have genuine problems. Problems are real. But where is the person with the problem on the emotional scale?
One of them had bad health, and she's very positive.
No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. If someone has very serious health problems, are they really positive? Did positivity cause the problems?
I don't know. She's recovering from 2 cancer surgeries.
I know, sweetheart, but is she positive? Would those problems have happened if she was a positive thinking person?
Maybe.
No. Law of attraction is exact. If someone is a positive thinking person, they live their life in this region of the emotional scale, nothing bad can happen. And if somebody's life is a struggle, it is because they are here. And it will go from one struggle to another struggle, because your giving them money is not going to change the way they think. Your going out on a limb for them is not going to change the way they think. And your feeling bad listening to their story is going to bring you here on the emotional scale, and how is that going to benefit you?
Yeah.
So
It felt good after I gave them money.
I know in the moment it felt good, but were you giving from your cup or your saucer?
From my cup.
That's the
But
problem.
yeah,
There's no point
Yeah,
in
I
feeling,
think
there is no point in feeling good for 2 seconds when you give them the money and then feeling bad for the rest of the week. Okay? You give from the saucer when you are never going to look back, when you're never going to, because you have so much abundance that you don't care about what you're giving to them. It's like a drop in a very big ocean of abundance that you have. Right? So this is why I wanted to explain to you on the diagram not to do things that will bring you down the emotional scale later on, because those things are not worth it and they are not really helping that person. You're not really helping that person because you're not changing their way of thinking. This is why people who win lotteries lose all their money, because they have not changed their way of thinking. So the winnings cannot stay with them. They are not abundant thinking. And they are definitely not positive thinking. Positive thinking appears in your manifestations.
okay, I'm ready to change my life. I'm going to stay at the top of the scale.
I just want
And,
you to not feel sorry for other people, because if they are creating problems in their lives, the first thing, you cannot fix their problems for them. They have to fix their thinking.
Yeah, I'll start working on myself and just keep my energy working on me.
Yes, you can. You can do it. I know you have such a soft heart, and it is not bad to have a soft heart. And you should always give, if you can, give from your saucer, never from your cup.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, my dear. Susan, are you still there? You have your hand raised, but you're not at the screen. Sue? Okay. Akbar, what's your question?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. My question is kind of what Janet sort of said. What you said about Janelle, was it, or Janet?
Yes.
My question is, I've got family members that I don't know. It's the relationship is turned to the point where it's very toxic. Like I've got a brother and sister who I feel are sort of narcissists, and I'm a people pleaser person. So if they ask me to do so, I would just drop everything and do it. But it's got to the point where whatever I do, there's a dig from them. They want me to do more things for them. And I don't know how to stop, but it obviously is obviously that has emotionally messed me up, because it's not that I feel deprived, it's just that it feels that the relationship cannot be salvaged at the moment. Now, I just wanted to know, in terms of the law of attraction, is there anything I can do from my side, not their side, from my side, to kind of build up the emotional scale, so I'm on the love side, the appreciation side?
Akbar, as long as you keep thinking that they are taking advantage of you, then nothing can change.
Right, okay.
Okay? So the change that you have to make is to understand that they can ask you to do things, but it's your prerogative to say no. They're not making you say yes. You are
Okay.
saying yes to them because it feels easier to say yes to them than to say no. That's why
Right.
you're saying yes. Because if you said no, you feel that saying no is a bigger problem.
Right. Okay.
Okay? People pleasers have this in common. I was a people pleaser as well until I taught myself to say no. All right, Kathy, we see you later. So people pleasers find it hard to say no. They find it easier to say yes. And so they are allowing the other person to abuse them because it's easier to be abused than to say no.
Okay.
That's not on them.
That's on me, isn't it?
That's on you. But then you say yes, and you do the things they want you to do, and then you feel bad about it because you feel you're being misused and you're not getting any thanks for it.
Manipulated as well.
Exactly. But it's the same thing that I was explaining to Janet. Because you're doing the things that you're doing from a place low on the emotional scale, no one will appreciate that. That is the thankless stuff that you do because you do it from a place low on the emotional scale. And as long as you feel that you're being taken advantage of, then you will remain low on the emotional scale.
Right. So is it a case of having boundaries, or is it a case of getting up on the emotional scale so that situation doesn't stay there?
I have no problem saying this in public to everyone in the world, that people who talk about creating boundaries don't know anything.
Right. Okay.
Because the only boundary there is a boundary of love. If you do not say, what is a boundary? A boundary says don't step across this line. That is the meaning of saying no. Do not, right? So I just explained to Janet that you cannot say no from any other place except love. Therefore, love is the only boundary there is.
Right.
Everywhere else will give you trouble. But when you say no from a place of love, I love you, my sister. I love you, my father. I love you. I care about you. And I would love to help you, but I can't help you just now. Is a very different way of saying no than bugger off. How much have I done for you already? See? But people retaliate. It's called retaliation. When you've had it, the water's over the top of your head because you've just had it with these people who manipulate you and take advantage of you. Well, then you're coming from the point of view of being in fight mode. I'm not going to, here, you take this, I'm not going to do it for you anymore. That's a place of retaliation. That's not a place of love. When you say no from a place of retaliation, the other person says, what? How dare you? And then that's how a fight will start.
Right.
So the only way to say no is to say it from a place of love. And you need to make yourself understand. So the missing piece in your own understanding is you need to make yourself understand that when you say no from a place of love, it never goes wrong. Because the current belief that you have is that if I say no, something will go wrong. Nothing ever goes wrong from a place of love. Okay. So, and we see this acted out with parenting and children, is that you can say no to a child. You can hold them, love them, and say, sweetheart, just not possible just now. And the child will be soothed. They won't feel antagonized. But when you say, I'm taking away your this privilege, and you can't have screen time, and I'm taking your PS5 away, well, now you've got a fight on your hands, because you're not coming from a place of love. You're coming from a place of pushback.
Right. Okay.
Okay? Awesome.
Right. Thanks very much. Thank you.
So, I'm not done with you. What are you going to do differently?
Oh, okay. The thing I want to do is, like you said, do it from a place of love. But I don't want to. The only thing I feel is a sense of guilt inside and a sense of shame inside, because when I was younger, my parents, the way they, because I was the youngest, the way they brought me up, there was always going to be some sort of shame and guilt there. That's how I felt.
I understand it. Yes.
So if I did something bad, it was terrible. If I did something good, it would feel like a reward for like 1 second, and then it would be neutral for a long time, and then that's how it felt. So I was never felt safe or secure within the family thing. So that's kind of affected me going through life, through work and everything else. So
you're still not telling me what you would do differently. You're giving me more explanation.
Explanation. Okay. When it comes from love, obviously I have to kind of be honest and tell them, look,
Do you want to change this situation?
Sorry?
Do you want to change this situation?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. What are the steps that you can take to change this situation? Step number 1.
The only thing I want to do, I've always thought about doing, is kind of like take a breather. Kind of. Because the thing is, my dad's not well at the moment, and
No. Stop right there. See, you have this tendency of going off into explanations.
Okay.
And explanations do not help you to go up the emotional scale. That's why I stop you. Okay. I stop you from digging a bigger hole.
Okay.
Okay.
What I would like to do then is to be.
Let me make it easy for you. Stop right there. Let me ask you an easier question.
Okay.
Akbar, what are the things that you can do to keep your vibration higher than it is right now?
To do activities that make me feel good about myself.
Yes.
Show some gratitude for the things I enjoy having on a daily basis.
Yes.
That's the 2 things I can think about at the moment.
Perfect. And the more you do those things, the higher you will go on the emotional scale, and the easier it will become for you to manage your family members. Because we cannot change who they are. We just need to learn strategies to handle them. What you do not currently have, Akbar, is strategies to handle them. Like I gave Janet the words. I said to her, tell people I don't have the resources to help you just now, right? So you need to have strategies for dealing with people around you. That's all. And the higher you are on the emotional scale, the easier it will be for you to figure out what those strategies should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the only thing you need to focus on is going up the emotional scale.
Right.
Okay? Now, I want to just, before I let you go, I'm going to add one little thing to what you just shared. You didn't share all of it, but I can feel all of it for you. You have the weight of responsibilities on your shoulders.
Yes. My shoulders are slumped down.
Exactly. You have the weight of responsibilities on your shoulder. And what you need to understand is that you are not the provider. You are not the helper. Because help comes through you, but it's not coming from you.
Right.
And if the person is asking for help, the universe will find a way to bring them the help they need. It doesn't have to be through you unless you can give it from your saucer.
Right. Okay.
The universe is not holding you hostage. You are holding yourself hostage. You have made yourself responsible to replace source with your puny resources.
Right. Okay.
Okay? Awesome. Thank you for the question.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Sue, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
I feel like Janet got the ball rolling here on this for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a question at all, but when she asked that, it started to percolate in me, and this is more of the same. Whereas mine's, it's almost like the same picture, the same issue, but it's within my business and trying to please customers,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make them all happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then feeling that you just got the weight of the world on your shoulders, trying to keep everyone happy, and you can't. So it's like I'm not really sure how that translates into business.
Oh my goodness, I love this question so much. Sue, thank you so much for this question. I'm going to go back to my scratches. Here we go. Just a very simple question I want to ask you, Sue.
Mhm.
You said something that is the key in all of this. You said making the customers happy. In your case as a business, if you are over here, Sue, what kind of customers will you attract?
Is that the happy spot? Yes, happy.
You will attract happy customers. You don't have to make them happy. You have to attract those who are already happy. And that doesn't mean you have to make every person walking in the door happy. It means you gotta be happy so that the people who walk in the door are happy people.
Yeah.
And what happens is when happy meets happy, the happiness gets multiplied tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
You're not making them happy. They're already happy coming to you.
Yeah.
Okay? So
Yeah, because I have noticed, like, when we feel like really pressured into like getting a lot of orders in, or we feel that we've gotten way more than we need to order than we actually have the funds for, we find ourselves finding more and more children nagging at us, kind of thing.
okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Because I just love advertising, and I love marketing and all of those. I mean, I've worked for those brands, and I want to remind you of two really big brands that I've actually worked for in the past, that I know intimately.
Mhm.
Do you know that Levi's made a very big jean company with only one jean? One blue jeans. That's it. One product. So it's not about so many products. Okay?
Right.
Another really big brand is KFC. Now they have this chicken and that chicken, but when they started, they only had
Right.
one. That was it.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, when they started, how many flavors did they have?
One.
Exactly. And I can keep going on and on and on. There's a very good book, Al Ries. He wrote a book called Focus. It's sitting right there on my shelf. And it's about focus. And he says that when companies lose their focus, their profitability goes down. Focus. Got to focus on what is the main thing that you are offering the consumer and stick with it. And if you have 10 ideas, go create 10 companies, but don't muddy the waters of the one product by adding all sorts of other things to it. Then you lose your personality.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of happened a little bit.
So you can pull it back.
Yeah.
Pull it back. Who are you? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be the go-to for a certain type of product? You can't be everything for everyone.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to become Amazon.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So you pick what you want. What is your playground? What are your strengths? And let go all the other frills. Because maintaining all of that takes a lot of energy and resources. Time, energy, resources, money. And then it just becomes so many moving parts to manage. So
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
bring it in. Just figure out what you stand for and go full out behind that.
See what your silly question did, Janet?
Yes. Wasn't a silly question, was it?
You thought
That
it was
was
such a silly question.
not at all a silly question. That was wow. Like it took us places. Yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the secret to having happy customers is what, Susan?
Being happy.
Exactly.
Simple.
When you're happy, happy people will walk in the door.
Yeah.
You don't have to have miserable people walking in the door and then try to make them happy, because you will never be able to do that.
Right. A lot of work. Exhausting.
You can't take that one on. So
No.
you cannot make miserable people happy. Instead, attract happy people by you being happy.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Good. Excellent question. All right, Nancy, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Share.
Yes.
I've been doing appreciation writing. I came in today, and Ianka goes right up to me and she's like, I know what I did wrong. And she tells me, and then she's like, I already sent you a direct deposit. It went in this month. And then she said, I'm getting 2 more payments also this week.
Amazing.
My recognition for the company, the email that I thought would go out yesterday actually went out today. Saying, say hi to, and I had a bunch of like, we use Teams, so like Teams messages saying like, welcome aboard, welcome, like, congrats on your passing 90-day probation. I thought I'd have to accrue my 10 days, and it turns out that I already get it whenever I want. From yesterday's date, 2024, it doesn't go by calendar year, it goes by year I passed probation.
Okay.
Till next year, 2025.
Wow.
And seven sick days that I could also use whenever I want, as long as it's approved. And then I'm going from timesheets to clock. So
Perfect.
it's auto approved right in the system. I'm not going to have any issues.
There we go. See what just a little bit of a shift can do? Yes?
Yeah.
That's the power of just hanging in there and doing the work. You did the work. Congratulations. Love it. Love it. That's a fantastic win. I'm so happy for you. You're welcome. Did you also have a question? No.
Anything
Just
else I need to do?
yes. Yes, Nancy. You need to
Yes, sir.
relax. Things are working out for you. And I want you to focus on your nutrition and your exercise the way you were focused before. Which I know that you are not just now, because you know I'm there in your head. I'm there in your head.
As bad as like preview days.
No excuses. Sorry.
It's my birthday.
Love you so much, sweetheart. You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. Yeah, you got to get back on track. Okay? Awesome. That's all.
Thanks.
You're welcome, sweetheart. All right, Tamika, do you have any questions for us today?
No questions. Just I thought I'd come and listen. Well, let me turn on my camera. I did start working out, but it's okay. So, life, mine is law of attraction. Life is just coming along, ups and downs, mostly up.
Very good.
I have the tools.
Yes.
And I do have to remind myself. It's
Yes.
amazing that we keep needing reminders. You just think you're going to get it. You
Yes.
just think it's going to click and you're going to be like that.
Yes.
But I am, like mostly, I know what to do. For the longest, I guess during the summer, I was pushing back against my HOA. It was a big mess. And I finally had to let go. Just let go. But the momentum was so high. I was complaining about everybody on my block. Seemed like, but I'm like, come on, Tamika, you know what to do. Stop focusing on that stuff. Focus on what's going right in your neighborhood. Appreciate. So it's like, you just gotta let stuff slow down and
Yes.
get back on track. So I feel like I'm doing very well. But yeah, so I like to listen because I always need something.
Yes. Yes. I know you're always there. So that's awesome.
Yes.
And you had your birthday as well, not so long ago.
Yes, it was a good one.
And the boys are doing well.
They are. My middle son, he's a senior now, and his girlfriend just broke up with him. And I was trying to feel sad about that. I was like, stop it. How are you getting down about that? Just encourage him. So I did have to, I was like, oh, and I was like, nope. Just didn't tell him, I went through it. People go through it. I said, it's okay to be down. That's normal. So.
Yeah, it's okay to be down. Yes, that's right.
Exactly.
Yes, teach him to honor his emotions.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Good job, Tamika. Look at you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Amazing.
dear. Thank you, everyone.
You're
for
welcome.
sharing.
Lillian, go ahead. What's your question?
Hi, it's been a long time. My question is, sorry, something just fell there. How do you process grief, the loss of many things as you're going through a transition, so that it doesn't affect future manifestations?
I'm not sure that we can look after all of what this question is right now, but I'll get you started. Okay? So the thing is, to look at something as a loss is a decision that you make. It's the filter you are using. Because really there's no loss. Feeling loss, the feeling of having lost something is a decision. We decide to feel upset because we've given something so much importance in our life. But nothing should be so important in our life that it brings us down the emotional scale. Now, loss is okay. Grief means I can't shake it off. So feeling bad about something that's happened, that's human. We all go down the emotional scale. But when you start calling it grief, that means you pegged a tent and decided to stay. That is a decision.
Kind of sounds, well,
There is nothing that is, here's the thing, Lillian, it comes from thinking that something has gone away, number one, that will never come back, or that is irreplaceable. And that's just not true, because at the basis of law of attraction is the belief that all things are possible. So is it possible for something that's gone away to come back? Yes. Is it possible for something better than what has gone away to enter your life? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So we leave all doors open, which is why we don't sit in this holding pattern of grief. We move on with life. Because it's when I move on that the new thing will come or the old thing will return. But if you sit where you are and you don't move forward, then there can be no opportunity for new to come in or for the old to return.
do you not have any period of so my feeling is that there is like wonderful things around the corner, but it also feels at the same time like I have lost something, and it hurts.
How long you allow it to hurt is up to you, and everyone is different with respect to that. You're the one who is every morning deciding that it should still hurt because it was so big. Basically what it is you're not permitting yourself to believe that better is on its way. Because if you did really believe it, you wouldn't feel bad. You'd be like, okay, that's over. What's next? Let me give you an example that's not exact, but maybe you can relate to this. So in sales, and I do a lot of sales training for salespeople. In sales, usually organizations have standards about how many calls a salesperson should make. So let's say that the sales standard is making 100 calls. So this person makes 100 calls but doesn't get any business today. Now, what should they do tomorrow? Oh, I lost a day. I made 100 calls, nothing happened. Or should they close the door on yesterday and say, okay, I've got 100 opportunities today. That's looking forward. But the salesperson who keeps looking at, oh, I didn't cut it yesterday, then they can't move forward. They get stuck in that holding pattern. And that prevents all things from being possible because now you're stuck in there. But to know, it's very empowering to know that if you let go what you had and stop feeling the pain of it, then that can come back. It's not coming back because you're still hurting. It cannot come back as long as you hurt. So it's the Band-Aid rule. Why do we pull the Band-Aid? We know it will hurt, but we pull it anyway because we know pulling the Band-Aid is going to make things easier. So you feel the hurt and then you tell yourself it's not worth it. That's it. I'm done being hurt by this. Because no one can do it for you. You have to stop hurting. To stop hurting is a decision. You have to reach a point where what has gone before doesn't matter. Then it doesn't hurt. Because what's coming is more powerful. So You have to look at things differently.
At the same time, I'm also watching other friends literally making a decision kind of in a minute that I'm not going to be hurt by this, but it comes out in other ways. Like the grief or the sadness comes out in other ways, like drinking or some sort of addictive behavior. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, at what point, like, is there some sort of balance that can be struck?
Okay, Janet, we'll see you later. It's an individual thing, Lillian. There's no standard.
Okay.
There's no need to be hurt per se. Like if you, so humans have gone through so much evolution. If you look at Viking culture, for example, and that Norse history, you died and went to, what was it called, Valhalla, and you celebrated. It wasn't a loss at all. It was a celebration to die in a battle. They didn't feel sad. They felt happy. To feel sad is a decision.
Okay.
And every person is different. So we're not saying that to feel sad is a bad thing. You are entitled to feel sad. But the longer you make the decision to stay there, you renew the decision every morning. Yeah, I'm still sad. You're renewing the decision. And law of attraction is the law of perpetuation.
So it just keeps going on.
Well, but you said something really important. It comes out in other ways if you haven't given yourself a reason for why you're going to stop hurting. When you just say, oh, I'm going to stop hurting now, it doesn't work. It's a sham.
Yes.
Okay? So I totally get what you're saying. No one can do that. And people say, oh, just let go. Hello, what does it mean to let go? I can't let go just by saying the words let go. Show me how. So it's not sufficient just to say, oh, I'm going to let go. No. Why am I letting go? It's the reasoning that is important. It's the reasoning that holds you up and helps you keep your sanity. And when you have a reasoning for why you're letting go, you don't have to resort to substances or alcohol or anything to dull your pain, because you have, when you give a reason for why you should not feel the pain, that's the healing.
Okay.
And that's what we call closure. Closure is giving yourself all the reasons why you should now stop hurting, because you have the answers, or you have the material that you need to move forward. So it requires thinking work. Why should I let go of the past? Well, because the past is holding me back. Is my future more important, or was my past more important? So you kind of have to, what I call the 4-step process, which you're familiar with. That's the 4-step process. Soothing. Soothe, 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 soothe. What is soothing? It's giving your mind reasons to let go.
Okay.
Okay? And you have to keep giving your mind reasons to let go until it is satisfied. And once it's satisfied, it will let go. Because here's the thing, you're a very caring person. And for very caring people, it's really hard to let go. You can't just do that and stop caring, because you care deeply. So we have to diminish the importance of the past and increase the importance of the future. Only then does our mind accept that It should start focusing on the future instead of thinking about the past. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah.
A lot, yes.
Yeah, and it's because you're a super intelligent person. Therefore, you cannot be the kind who can let go like that. You need a reason to let go.
Yes.
You have to talk yourself into letting go, which means give yourself the reasons that, okay, and we say this, we say these things, but we don't spend enough time rationalizing them. We say things like, this too shall pass. It's going to be a better tomorrow, right? But why? Just because you say so? No. Your mind will reject those statements because you're not giving your mind a good enough reason for it. And that's because you live in your head. You have a very strong logical mind. Right?
Yes. So, okay.
Okay? So you need to,
Yes.
for your mind to accept the loss and move on, you've got to increase the importance of what is in store in the future. You've got to convince your mind that its resources, its thinking power is needed for the future, because the past you can't do anything about. And this is where your mind is not fully engaged, because it keeps trying to bring the past back. The past was so good, I want it back. How can I get it back? Why has it gone away? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to answer those questions for your mind, because it will not rest until it has the answers. This is why the period of grief becomes prolonged, is because your mind is asking questions and you're not answering them. You're not finding the answers that satisfy your intelligence, because you're very intelligent. You know, herd mentality is, I tell you and you don't think about it, you just follow the herd. You are not that. And that can be a very good thing, or in this case, it can be a very bad thing. Okay? Because
Yes.
when you don't follow the herd, then you need the logic. You need the answers. So to me, law of attraction was all about finding out how things work. I needed the answers. I wasn't going to accept just like, oh, you just wave this wand and you sit on your sofa and, you know, like somebody drops a sack of gold in front of you. Not buying any of that. Right? I needed the logic. So that's where the book Thrive came from. The book Thrive has the logic. Okay? You get it?
Okay.
I think you got it.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yes, I
awesome.
do.
Awesome. Really, really good
Thank you.
question.
Thank you so much for the detail and the answer too. Thank
No problem. That's what I'm here for. I love doing that. All right, Samuel. I saved the best for last.
Hi.
Hi, Samuel.
Okay, so my question, which I haven't really thought out very thoroughly. Okay, actually, so for the past few days, I did the delivery, and like, damn it, it's like makes me tired. Like it's kind of fun, kind of tiring, and then I was also flying high, so like it's not so good. So also it kind of makes me demotivated. So I was like wondering like, what should I do?
Okay,
What
Lillian.
should I change in my thinking?
Okay. Your comments were all over the place. So what is the question in there?
Split energy.
Okay, what is the question in
Maybe
there?
has splitting energy, I guess.
What is the question?
What?
What is the question? You have split energy. Everybody has split energy. But what is the question, Samuel? Love you so much, sweetheart.
How do I make it easier?
What do you want to make easier?
How do I make it easier?
Sorry?
How do I make it easier?
What are we making easier?
Oh.
What do you,
Work.
your work. How do you make your work easier? By finding a reason for it. We can
Yeah.
do very horrible things provided we have a good reason for them. Fear Factor. Have you ever watched Fear Factor? Yeah.
It's like $1 million or something like to eat all those like all the literal shit.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. So give me a good enough reason and I'll do anything. I'll do anything. The
Oh,
reason
I
for
don't
doing it has to be good enough.
Yeah.
If you don't give me a good enough reason, I'm not doing it.
Uh-huh.
So are you giving yourself a good enough, strong enough reason, important enough reason for doing the work that you're doing?
No, obviously.
Exactly. So you got to make a list of reasons why this work is important to you. Like my work, my job, my life depended on it. My ability to support my children and not have us all land on the pavement depended on it. So I didn't care what I was going to do. I would do whatever it took, which is the problem. You're too comfortable. You're not at a point where I'll do whatever it takes. So that attitude, I'll do whatever it takes, means that my job is important enough. I don't care what the job is, because what the job does for me is more important than what the job is. Do you see the distinction? What the job does for me is more important than what the job is. The issue with you, Samuel, is that you want the job to be, it's not what the job does for you, but what the job gives you.
The job is,
So this job currently is not giving you enough for you to keep going with it. But that's a decision. The money in it, because it's not the work that's fun, it's the money. You're doing it for the money. You're not doing it because you actually love the work. I know someone who had a very unique job, and his job was, he was a cleaner. So you know those cleaners who clean up crime scenes? They also clean up operation theater. They also clean up operation theaters. And they and yes. Why did he do it? Why did he do that job? He didn't do it because he loved the work. He did it because he loved what the job did for him, the money. He was very highly paid for the job that he did. I would never do that job. I would only do that job if, like the worst possible circumstances, that's the only thing I can do. I would do it if I needed it badly enough. So when we don't need the money badly enough, then we want to find work that is emotionally satisfying. You see? So if the money is not important enough, then why are you doing this job? You got to ask yourself, what is the reason? Because it's not giving you the money you want. So why are you doing it? If it's not going to give you work satisfaction, then why not do a job that gives you tons of money? You see where I'm going with it? If the job is not giving you work satisfaction, emotional satisfaction of the job, then might as well go take the dirtiest job and make tons of money, because at least then the money will satisfy you. Just now the money is not satisfying you and the work is not satisfying you. You see,
investment banking, that kind of thing.
Whatever that thing is, get ready for it, train for it, go find it. But the thing is, just now the job that you're doing is not giving you money, and it's not giving you the emotional satisfaction of doing work that you love. So it's not giving you either financial currency or psychic currency. It's
Uh-huh.
not giving you either one. Well, if you're going to do a job that doesn't give you psychic currency and doesn't give you financial currency, then why don't you go and do the job that you were doing before? Because it wasn't giving you psychic currency, but it sure was giving you financial currency. You see?
Yeah. Okay. My current thought process, right, is okay with regards to this. So like is exactly like you said, like so so I see a business, I have to cycle on that, and then I'm thinking like honestly like fuck, like I'm only getting paid like this amount for this amount of work. So so other jobs which pay more, if I'm going to put in this amount of work, I might as well do it for something that pays me more. But one concern I have about going back to the previous job that I have is, okay, although it does actually pay more, like it pays like about average or 10% above average for my pay scale for that level. My concern is even when I'm going into that job, I will still think the same way.
But that's
I will have to aim for like,
that's up to you. I can't make you like Samuel.
When I become
I can't make you like your work.
When I become an investment banker, I'm going to think like, fuck, why am I working so hard? No amount. This is about.
I have been an investment banker. Listen. I have been an investment banker.
Yeah, that's my concern.
I have been an investment banker. And there are many investment bankers who hate their jobs but do it because the money is massive. You've got to have a reason to do the work that you're doing, and there are only two. Pick.
Yeah. But also one thing, I think even if I were to be an investment banker, I'll still be discontent because I'm thinking like I should be building business, put the effort into some.
Samuel, I can't. It's up to you. It's up to you. What do you want more? Do you want money more? If money is the goal, then go and do the thing that will make you the most money. Don't look for psychic satisfaction in it. Don't look for emotional satisfaction. Find your emotional satisfaction somewhere else. When you stop looking for it to both things to be in the same place, that is when they will both show up in the same place. Most people who do things that they absolutely love doing never planned to get there. They never planned it. They never planned that it would be. Jeff Bezos was selling second-hand books. Bill Gates was tinkering around in his garage. They didn't plan to create Amazon and Microsoft. That wasn't the plan. When you don't look for it, that's when it comes. But when you say, show me the money and give me the satisfaction right up front, then you stall. Find one thing and go. So this is where people either go because they're getting the emotional, psychic satisfaction. They don't care about the money. And then the money comes. Or they go after the money and then they enjoy the money so much that they start liking what they're doing. It's like Tiger Woods. Why does Tiger Woods like golf? Because he started when he was 3 years old. It was natural to him.
Because he was successful, yeah. He was successful at it. He was good at it. That's why he liked it so much. He put in.
So when you like it so much, you don't care about the money. If I cared about the money, I would never have started teaching law of attraction because it wasn't paying me anything when I started.
Yep.
So you got to decide which one matters more. Is it the enjoyment that matters more or the money that matters more? And you keep mixing it up.
Yeah, very different.
You keep mixing it up and you make it hard for yourself. You try to force yourself to like things that you don't like.
True.
Nobody can do. I can't make you like something that you don't like just by talking yourself into it. Well, that will work for a short period of time, but if there's no money in it, then you're not going to be happy because it's not giving you the emotional satisfaction. When you have money satisfaction, you don't care about the emotional satisfaction because you're doing it for the money. You're not doing it for the emotional satisfaction. So you got to decide, what are you looking for? Go to work for money and then come home and enjoy the emotional, get the psychic money out of what you love doing, which doesn't yet pay you the money, but one day it will.
Probably emotional satisfaction.
Then stop going after the money. Because you're stalling yourself by looking for both.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like all the things that give me emotional satisfaction, if I try to turn it into a goal that is like related to making money, then it becomes not fun.
exactly. That's
And then I stop
exactly.
enjoying it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying, and this applies to a lot of people, that when you take a hobby and you make it into a business, then it's not fun anymore. Let the hobby be a hobby. And one day the hobby can become really big and it can turn into a business, but don't turn it into a business when it's not ready for it yet. Keep the hobby as a hobby and do something else to earn the money that you need to earn.
Yeah, makes sense.
My neighbor works.
Like even for writing.
My neighbor loves to play hockey, but he has a regular full-time job. And then he plays hockey early in the morning. He goes to play hockey at 5 a.m. Right? So he still gets to do the things he loves, but he can do the things he loves because he has a job that enables him to be able to do those things. He hasn't found both things in the same place. He's not a superstar NFL hockey player. Right? But he's found a way to earn psychic currency, and he's found a way to earn financial currency. He's earning both, but they are coming from different sources. Okay?
Yeah.
So you got to decide. Because sometimes if you love to do something and you try to make money from it, you create all sorts of obstacles because then you don't like it that much because it becomes a chore. Right? For example, I don't send out regular newsletters. Why don't I send out regular newsletters? I don't, because I don't like to write on a regular basis. My YouTube channel, I don't do regular videos because I don't want to force myself to do a YouTube video just because I'm on a schedule. So I don't. So I don't. But people who are doing it as a business, they do regular videos whether they like it or not. Right? I'm not doing it that way. When I do a video or I do something, I really believe in it. I really feel the energy of it. That's when I do it. So it's a different attitude towards doing things. So you got to decide, is the money important? If the money is not important, then stop running after the money. What are you doing? Then just go after what you love. And one day what you love will become big. But even if it never does, the psychic currency will fill you. It will satisfy you. Okay? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are at the end of our time commitment. Any last questions before I close the call?
I've
Awesome.
got one quick question. Sorry.
Sure, Akbar, go ahead.
Just regarding Samuel's question. How did you find out what you love to do?
What you love to do comes to you easily. What you love to do calls you. What you love to do is such a strong instinct within you that you can't help but do it. And you would do it without any money because it's so much fun doing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay? Yeah. Awesome, you guys. All so many good questions. Love you all lots. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Recording.